This drug vault is in a super secret place somewhere in the valley. Officers from one agency store their drugs here when they get them off the streets. There's 5,000 pounds of marijuana in here right now. It's almost full. It was completely empty when we were here a month ago. From the outside, you'd never know. 5 tons, thousands of pounds, worth millions of dollars are on the inside.
It never slows down. I mean, we got an estimated 10,000 is what we're taking. We're peeling the dope, putting it inside the U-Haul so we can send it to GPS lab and it can be destroyed.
How long did it take you to accumulate this much?
About a period of 3 to 4 month period.
We can't show you this officer's face. He is a Rio Grande City police investigator on the high-intensity drug trafficking area task force. Many of the officers you see unbundling this marijuana are also undercover officers. This is not their biggest catch. They stopped smugglers with almost 18,000 pounds in a 3-month period last year. They got a record-breaking 60,000 pounds at least off the streets in 2011. What does that tell us?
This is how active the valley is.
This is the drug vault where Rio Grande City police store the drugs until the bad guys go to court. It's about the size of a small bedroom.
The way we accumulate our vault, I mean, is when it's close to its maximum capacity.
We got exclusive access to see what happens to the drugs when the cases in the courts are done. Why do you have to unbundle these things?
The incinerator does not burn material, it just burns the consistency, the marijuana itself.
This day, it took 5 hours to cut the wrap off every single bundle. The officer had some extra hands. Sometimes it takes all day, morning till night, in scorching heat. Every bundle gives them valuable intelligence.
Some that you find with the red tape belong to somebody. You'll see some that have like a green tape or a blue tape that they individualize from there.
The markings on these bundles tell the drug distributors where they're going. This one says Alvarado on it, probably somebody's last name. This one has a Chihuahua 2012 and a lion. Officers tell us these probably came from the Gulf Cartel. How much of the percentage of this 10,000 pounds is marked?
Maybe about, well, I mean, most of them come out covered, but I mean, I give or take about 70% of it.
He says the marijuana is shipped straight from the fields in Mexico to the border. This shipment is very green, very fresh.
When the marijuana gets to the border, which is in Mexico, they ship it straight across. They can't be in Mexico for a long period of time. They got to get it across. From there, it gets broken down into several owners from this side.
This 80-pound bundle came directly from Mexico. Officers say they can tell because it still has the ropes around it and the strap. A mule was likely carrying it directly from the river. Now, look at these bundles. They're different. Officers say they came from a stash house. The cartels prepackaged them for transport up north.
I mean, we've identified key players, and I mean...
How big a network, sir, is it?
Worldwide.
He says the drug pipeline here in Rio Grande City runs through San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, up north to New York and around the world. Hundreds of smugglers, distributors, and transporters get their hands on these drugs before a local dealer sells it to the man or woman on the street. A pound of pot is $400 here in the valley, $800 in Houston. It doubles and triples as it goes north.
The popular demand for drugs.
No sooner had the undercover officers finished up their work and locked up the truck. Another load rolled in.
These bundles appear to be very fresh. You got your traditional backpack. We've been seeing this a lot here. It's usually manufactured like this out in Mexico, and it's kept like this. Usually they take this up to a ranch up north.
From the outside, you'd never know officers are taking 10,000 pounds of drugs down long highways to the secret state incinerator. We drove with them until they pulled up to the Department of Safety site somewhere in the valley. They went on without us. DPS refused our request to see how the drugs are burned. 5 tons of fresh, green marijuana went up into thin air in 2 hours. We can't show you the drug burn, but we can tell you a massive commercial incinerator burns those drugs at a high heat, so the properties of the marijuana are destroyed. It smells like nothing when it vaporizes into the air. Officers who've seen the drug burn tell us it looks a lot like this: thick, dark, black, dense, like tar. This is the kind of stuff that roofers use to put shingles on their roofs. Officers tell us the marijuana is mixed with chemicals. That's why it turns out this way. Somewhere in the valley, Farrah, Fazal, Channel 5 News at 10.